They'll never take me alive, I'm getting high with my 4-5. Cops only suffer time to die, even as a youngster. Causing ruckus on the back of the bus. I was a fool all through high school, kicking up dust. But now I'm labeled as a troublemaker. Who can you blame? Smoking weed up, we take away the pain. So I'm hopeless, rolling down the freeway, swerving. Don't worry, I'm about to crash upon the curb, cause my business bloody, baby. If they try to understand me, what should I do? I had to feed my fucking family, what else could I do? But be a thug, I'm slanging with the homies, fuck hanging with them phonies in the club. Got my mind on danger, never been a stranger to homicide. My city's full of gangbangers and drive-bys. Why do we die at an early age? He was so young, but still a victim of the 12 gauge. My memories of a corpse, mind full of sick thoughts, and I ain't going back to court. So fuck what you thought. I'm drinking Hennessy, running from my enemies. When I live a beat 23, there's so much pain.
Good evening, Papa. Good evening, Grandma, and everyone. So good to see you guys. Please follow, like, and share. I'd appreciate it. Let's share it out. Follow.
Hey, Ruby, how you doing today?
Bobby, I'm tired.
Why you tired for?
Well, when you have 5 grandbabies running around from the ages 1 year to 14, you realize, how the hell did I have 3 kids? How did I do that? I mean, yeah, I'm 51 now, and I was quite young when I had my first one, so it's probably a lot to do with it. But man, they whooped my patootie today.
Well,
I loved every minute of it.
Did you ever figure out what caused that?
Yeah, after a while.
What's up, Mama B?
I wouldn't trade it for nothing, though. I wouldn't trade it. I'd still have the kids with, the guys I was with. But after knowing them and divorcing them, I would go back in time, have my kids, and say, "See ya, puppy," and be done. Get my law degree and be doing all kinds of stuff at that point. That's what I would be doing. Cooties will do it, LOL. I remember that. I'll tell you a quick story. I went to school when I was in kindergarten one time. Well, no, second grade. And it's Willard Morris. He was there, and he sat down next to me. And when I went home, I was bawling my eyes out. Mom's like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "I'm pregnant." She goes, "What?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Willard sat down next to me," because my daddy used to tell me that if a boy sat next to you, he'd get pregnant.
Well, hang on. Just by I get the old saying, because they told us that here.
I was in second grade. I didn't know what nothing was.
Okay, so.
So when I went home, I was crying, and then finally, that's when they had to tell me about some stuff.
Okay, the stuff. The birds and the bees and
The birds and the bees and how's it go? The birds and the bees. I don't know shit.
Yeah. Well, that's a long time ago when we was told all that shit. Yeah. So there you go.
And they need to bring it back. Bring that shit back.
That's right. So what you got lined up for us tonight?
Tonight. Well, let's first start with this. The RNC co-chair Laura Trump has announced that she and the RNC are working to raise a veritable army of over 100,000 poll watchers and over 500 lawyers to deploy at election sites across the country in November.
You know, it's so funny that you pulled that up because the video that we're gonna play here, just whenever you'll play it, she, Rotten Clinton said, "Hey, we gotta get
Yeah.
all the lawyers we can get because they're gonna pull out the same stuff." Well, hey,
Yeah.
Rotten Clinton, you know, y'all already done that stuff, so okay.
They're gonna try it though. They're gonna try
All right.
everything twice as hard. Go ahead and play it, Papa.
Okay, there you go. You want me to do it? Okay, here we go. Okay, what you? This is crazy as shit.
Because of the Electoral College, it all comes down to the Electoral College.
No shit. Really?
If it's a close election, like say Biden, say Biden wins, what do you think Trump will do?
Look, I think that they have a couple of scenarios that they're looking toward. One is messing up absentee balloting.
Right, of course.
They believe that helps them. So that they then get maybe a narrow advantage in the Electoral College on election day. Because remember, we've seen a couple of cases, like in Wisconsin, where they did everything they could to mess up voting. But because courts had ordered absentee ballots to be counted if they were postmarked on election day, Democrats actually.
Hang on, Hillary. Y'all messed the election up over in Wisconsin because actually, if you go to the Constitution of Wisconsin, guess what, Hillary? There's in the Constitution there that there's no mail-in ballots, no ballots, period. You have to walk in there and freaking vote
In person voting.
in person. So, you know, the COVID thing, folks, if you're not aware of it, it was all about stealing the 2020 election. Okay. Okay. Let's finish listening to what she has to say here.
Won some important races there. In the recent Michigan primary, I was told in Detroit, the Republicans had 40 lawyers challenging absentee mail-in voting. And a local reporter talking to one of the lawyers he knew was told it was a dry run for November.
Oh, you're dry, right?
So we've got to have a massive legal
already.
operation. And I know the Biden campaign is working on that.
Really?
You've done that.
We have to have poll workers. And I urge people who are able to be a poll worker.
Oh, you worked on
We
polls.
have to have our own teams of people to counter the force of intimidation that the Republicans and Trump are going to put outside polling places. This is a big organizational challenge, but at least we know more about what they're going to do. And Joe Biden should not concede under any circumstances, because I think this is going to drag out, and eventually I do believe he will win if we don't give an inch, and if we are as focused and relentless as the other side is.
You don't hear that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're not gonna hand this over. I'm gonna tell you. I just have that.
Oh, it's gonna be comical, no doubt.
It's gonna be quite interesting. Well, since we're on Hillary,
Hey, Christy, how you doing? How you doing, Christy?
Hey, Christy. For people who are awake now that don't really know, you've heard stories of, Hillary's emails.
She used multiple devices during the 4 years of her term as Secretary of State.
I didn't have to turn over anything. I chose to turn over 55,000 pages of my email, but we turned over everything that was work-related, every single thing.
Secretary Clinton said all work-related emails were returned to the State Department. Was that true?
No, we found work-related emails, thousands, that were not returned.
What, like with a cloth or something? No.
You get a subpoena, and after getting the subpoena, you delete 33,000 emails, and then you acid wash them.
Everything he just said is absolutely false.
Secretary Clinton said neither she nor anyone else deleted work-related emails from her personal account. Was that true?
The email software was removed. That didn't remove the email content. The effect was that millions of email fragments ended up in the server's unused or slack space. This helped us recover work-related emails that were not among the 30,000 that were produced to state.
We went through
Millions of emails.
34 million to be precise.
Mhm.
I mean, James Comey, you went off the record of saying exactly what Hillary Clinton said. None weren't related. Huh. Wow. Okay.
I listened to that. You guys, if you listen to how Democrats speak, okay,
Yeah.
you will be able to weed through it. That wasn't work related. See, they could make something seem like it wasn't work related and talk in certain other aspects, and it be absolutely work related.
Mhm.
It just wasn't work related to maybe the header having the White House or something, something so small. They look for those loopholes to run through. They look for those loopholes.
Can I give you another loophole?
Yeah, I'm on.
That's pertaining to all this. Loretta Lynch, the tarmac meeting between Slick Willie, if y'all don't know who Slick Willie is, that's Monica Lewinsky's smoking a cigar guy, Bill Clinton. Yeah, they were just talking about the grandkids. Yeah, okay. So what it actually boiled down to, if you go back and research it, folks, how you're not going to prosecute Hillary, are you? Well, just build this, call it the bleach spit, like wipe it off with a cloth or something. Get out of here. Okay, move on to the next scene. But they just like, you got to listen to what they're saying, folks. You have to listen.
I love your way of your verbiage that you use. I'm trying to get a video. I forgot about loading, but I'll get it in between. Go ahead. Let's see if I have anything else to go with that. No, I don't. Papa,
Well, yes, ma'am.
let's play Jack.
You'll play Jack.
Let's play
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water.
Tell water.
So this right here was at the Michigan Turning Point USA yesterday. Yeah, and Donald Trump was there in Michigan today. And but anyway, this is from yesterday. This is Jack Posobiec.
What's going on? So there was a security breach. We had everything set up. Everyone was in. The crowd was already getting full. We had hundreds of people here, but there was a security breach because the Detroit PD let some people in without being wanted by the Secret Service. So Secret Service has resealed the entire Huntington Place Center, and they're rewanding everybody. They had the explosive dogs go around looking for pipe bombs to make sure nothing was planted, and they've rewanded every single person that's in here. Everyone is now being kept outside. All those hundreds of people now have to go through the magnetometers again because there was that security breach. Because President Trump is coming today, and so this entire event is now a Secret Service protected event. And so you need to maintain your security perimeter so that every single person and every single inch and every single nook and cranny of this entire facility is protected and is safe from explosives, firearms, any other implements that could be used to potentially harm any of the guests or President Trump.
They're going through like a third time with the dogs too.
They've got the dogs, so they got the explosive dogs, they got firearms, they're checking for everything.
All right.
And so, but War Room, if you notice, War Room has not skipped a beat.
Nope.
Steve is completely unflappable. I don't even think he's mentioned it on air.
No, he's upset that the audience is gone.
He's upset the audience is gone. He doesn't even realize that there's actually been essentially what could be a threat
Yeah.
directly to him, and he doesn't even care. He's just up
Nope.
there doing the show.
That's war room. There's no crying in the war room.
No cry.
There you have it, folks.
Thing.
So
So the police were going to allow people through and not want the Secret Service to want them.
yeah,
Is that correct?
that is correct.
Now, that's very problematic. That lets me know that I'm gonna tell you they're gonna try to make an attempt on his life.
Oh yeah.
You know that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Man, do they not know what's gonna happen if anything happens to that man? I mean, this ain't gonna be like John F. Kennedy, okay?
Oh no.
This ain't even. This is not going to be like John F. Kennedy.
No, it ain't. It's not going to be like you said, John F. Kennedy assassination. Because everybody's like glued to TV. It's going to be an uprising because people know what's going on. They know
Right.
that the CIA, the FBI, the DOJ, whatever case may be, is against Trump. Not really against Trump, but against us. They want to silence him because they're coming after us. The saying Trump says, they're not after me.
You're right.
I'm just standing there in their way because they're really after you. And that's 100% facts, so.
That's the truth. That is flat out 100%. 100%.
Is that clear, right, kid? Yeah.
I'm trying to. I had to put all this stuff in here. Well, this is in your neck of the woods. It's happening and going on, Papa.
Well, okay. I'm listening
It's a
because.
two-part. It's a two-part.
Okay.
But this is in Alabama. I don't know how close it is to you or what have you. I believe I have it in order part 1 or 2. If I don't, I will flip it and we'll go with the correct because I had to hurry and upload it. Here we go.
Inviting millions of illegals into this country over 3.5 years. The Alabama Secretary of State says he's got evidence that the Biden administration is working to now sign these people up to vote in his state. Color me shocked. Saying Biden's current federal policies mandate that anyone who comes into contact with certain state agencies be provided with voter registration information. This policy mandates that non-citizens receive information regarding registering to vote in Alabama and registration forms required to register to vote. He continued on Biden's attempt to take advantage of the crisis he created at the border by tying the hands of agencies such as Medicaid and forcing them to enact his scheme is disgraceful. Now, this follows a very clear pattern that we have seen since really 2020, if not longer. The Biden administration is just cultivating the grounds to make it easier to subvert our elections, to subvert this republic. They know the far left of their party, sitting in all these little NGOs, is going to do anything that they can to get power, to retain power. They know that these Marxists don't care about the rules, and that includes bending them, breaking them, to upend any election and voting integrity measures. As clear as you can, exactly what you're seeing, how this is working.
Thank you, Rob, for having me on. I really appreciate it. What we saw is we got a complaint about a relative of a deceased individual that received a voter registration form. And so that caused alarm bells, obviously, to go off in my mind. And so we started asking some questions from where this voter registration card came from, but it led us down another path to basically discover that anyone that comes in contact with certain state agencies, whether or not they receive benefits or not, receive a voter registration form in the mail. And we just find that appalling. And it's because of the National Voter Registration Act that was passed back in 1993. And, the state agencies' hands are tied because they're following federal law. But it goes right along with Biden's executive order that he signed back in 2021 that really weaponizes and mobilizes the entire federal government apparatus to be voter registration agencies. And so we're just shocked what we found, and we wanted to alert and expose this, and to make sure that the public knows about it.
Okay, so yeah, that is 100% facts. But there's always a but. Okay, the but is when you come into Alabama, you have mail-in ballots. Okay, you do have that, but we don't do it here where I'm at. But when you walk in to vote, you actually have to have a valid ID as far as a driver's license. Just not a voter ID card. Okay.
Okay. So
So
you have to have an actual driver's license with.
it's got to have your address. It's got to have all your information. And if you're country, I don't know how it is up in Tennessee, but when I walk up, to vote, we got we got 4
We have to
ladies.
show our driver's license and our social security card.
Okay.
If you don't have the voter card in it.
Okay, so we got 4 ladies sitting at the table. Okay, the first one you walk in at the same table, she scans your driver's license to make sure, hey, you're up on your insurance, that you are a valid driver. She passes it off to another person. That person looks at it, sees your name on the board here. That lady checks it off, hands it to another lady. Okay, she makes sure that it's double checked that what the second lady done. Okay, then the fourth lady takes and hands you the ballot. You know what I'm saying? As far as your paper. I mean, that's how it works here. So.
Okay. See, I've always went in person. I've never even done a ballot before.
Yeah.
I've always went in person, so I don't really know how that absolutely works. But something that gets me, okay, they're going to put poll watchers, more poll watchers and stuff out. What does a poll watcher do if they see something that's not right at that moment? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm saying this so we can tell people.
Okay. Well, all right. So, if I'm a poll watcher, got me? Is that what you're asking?
I am.
If I'm a poll watcher and I see folks, listen to what I'm saying here. This is the first damn thing I do. I automatically walk in and have all my cellular data off. Got me? I walk into that place. I go in there. I click on Wi-Fi. If I get a Wi-Fi connection, which luckily I have not in the last few elections, got me? But if I get a Wi-Fi connection, because there's not supposed to be any Wi-Fi connections in the place. Got me? If I did, I would call it out. I'd call my Secretary of State, say, hey, shut it down. We got Wi-Fi connections in here.
Okay.
That's what you do. You automatically call. Everybody put your Secretary of State on speed dial. Yep. Speed dial. Yep.
This is going to be the time when you're going to have everything right there at your tip of your fingers. Because you got to know that they're going to have crooked people in other chains of command. And if you go to your Secretary of State and nothing gets done, then you're going to know his ass is crooked too.
Huh.
We'll know that for sure. I was coming across a video last night on TikTok. And this kind of resonated, as an idea. We've got the Hunter Biden situation with the Hunter Biden laptop. Before I go to that, I want to play this. These news medias owe Trump an apology. I mean,
right.
for every minute they freaking ran their mouths about the bullshit lies, they need to go back on there and correct that. But listen to this hogwash.
And Twitter having problems with a story that even the New York Post knew was a lie. They published a series of lies peddled to them by Rudy Giuliani, who admitted that nobody else would take it but Rupert Murdoch's New York Post, because they might look into it and tell the truth. Here we are in 2020. This is what it's come down to, America. Giuliani is feeding Russian misinformation to Donald Trump, and feeding Russian disinformation to the New York Post. They know it's a lie.
Yeah, well,
that's where we are in 2020.
The New York Post
just to let you know that they're still talking to Russians. And by the way, Russian hoax, come on. Really, seriously, history will expose you all as fools and useful idiots for the Russians. It's for 4 years now. For 4 years now, there has been a line from Russian agents into the campaign. It's unbelievable how stupid you think Americans are. How stupid you think Americans are. For you can just say Russian hoax. Seriously? It's the idiocy, the sheer idiocy. You are revealed right now, but you will be revealed throughout history for basically running cover for Russians.
And you've got this computer repair shop owner in Delaware who is a staunch Trump supporter and who peddles in conspiracy theories and whose shop is thousands of miles away from where Hunter Biden lives. So you've got a lot of questions here. This whole thing smells bad, Joe. I don't think there's a lot of credence. That's why the FBI is questioning not the Bidens, but Rudy Giuliani.
They just dropped their freaking case.
Okay. Morning, Joe. And Mika. Mika's one who actually runs that show. You couldn't tell because Morning Joe's over running his daggum chops. So, okay. Hey, Morning Joe. So you called us conspiracy theorists about the Hunter Biden laptop. Yeah, Russian disinformation. I hope you got the other video about Hunter Biden dropping something. You got that?
I don't, but you can pull it. I'm going to play this one. Chuck, if you're listening out there,
you talking about
need
Chuck
to
Todd?
apologize too.
Chuck
Todd. I got
Chuck
that
Todd.
one.
Okay.
Chuck.
In WikiLeaks, it's Rudy Giuliani and some computer guy in Delaware. So this didn't work. So he'll try another planted story or another, Russian, use some other, discredited Russian propaganda. And for those of you spreading misinformation, shame on you. Shame on you. I don't know how some of you sleep at night who are doing this for a living on television. Instead of
Well, Chucky boy, I sleep just fucking fine because we were right once again, Papa.
Yeah,
we were right.
Of course we was right. Hey, Chuck Todd, you sound like Jake Tapper. I don't see how these people can sleep with themselves at night. Hey, Chuck Todd. Now, hey, I was in a live earlier today. I forget whose live it was. Anyway, I was just typing away because I was giving them information about this stuff. Anyway, so hey, they say the Smith Month Act. Okay, they said that Obama came up with that, the Smith Month Act. Well, hey, Obama didn't come up with it. Damn it! It came out in 1948. Okay, do your research. Do better. Okay, Obama just made it into law to where they can spread the propaganda. Like, hey, Chuck Todd, I don't see how you can sleep with yourself and not spreading the lies and the rumors of being conspiracy theorists. Hey, Jake Tabbert, the same goes to you. Morning Joe, same goes to you. Hey, Mika, slap him in the face. Okay.
I expect apologies from every single one of you. Public apologies.
Well, he's suing the networks, right? Trump is.
Good.
Yeah. Yep. He sure is.
I hope Rudy goes next. I hope he sues the piss out of him next.
Okay, well, going back to Rudy. Hey, Chuck Todd. Hey, Joey bags these nuts with Mika. Okay. It come out that Hunter Biden has dropped his case against Rudy Giuliani.
Yes.
He's not going to go any further.
But I do have. Let's see if I can pull this one video. I'm gonna put it in there. Well, I'll look for it while we play the
Christy, that's what I said. Obama, he put it in law. It means he legalized it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I was going through TikTok and this video come across, and I listen to this guy a lot. This theory that he has, I'd like the people in the comments, and I would love, Papa, for you to weigh in on this. I don't know if you already watched it on my page because I did post it, but um, is it possible?
All right, everyone, you need to pay attention. This trial is about to open Pandora's box. Hunter Biden is in trouble for being a junkie and purchasing a firearm while he was a junkie. So why is this important to us? All these states that have made medicinal marijuana legal, recreational marijuana legal, you need to understand it's at the state level only. This was all part of their plan. This is going to open the box that I just explained, this trial. Hunter's in trouble for filling out a form saying he was not on drugs while he bought a handgun. Everyone in these states where marijuana is legal or it is medicinal may not understand that it's still illegal on the federal level. So when they purchased these guns and wrote they was not taking illegal drugs, they messed up. Let's watch this. So the verdict is in. Let's fast forward so everybody sees what I'm saying. Here we go.
Hunter Biden has been found guilty on all counts in his gun trial, federal trial in Wilmington, Delaware.
Guilty,
Leo,
convicted on all charges.
My first response is I go back to the Harris Faulkner.
Now let's see what the charges are, and you'll understand what I'm trying to tell you all.
Ask me that question. Is there any way that?
Fast forward. Making false statement on an ATF form intended and likely to deceive the dealer. Making false statement on ATF form would be kept in dealer's records. Count 3, possession of a gun by a prohibited person. All this is exactly what I'm trying to get through to you all. If you purchased a firearm while smoking marijuana, either medicinally or in a state which it is legal, and you went and purchased a firearm and you signed that federal document saying you was not taking illegal drugs, you honestly probably thought you wasn't because it's legal at the state level. It is still illegal at the federal level. This, you all, is how they're going to come take everyone's guns. Right here. It's been their plan the whole time. And now Pandora's box is open and it's going to cause all kind of chaos. Get prepared. Get ready. The box is open, you all.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Okay, so is that the boogeyman? Isn't that what his name is? Something like that?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, the guy makes great content and stuff like that, but
He does.
Okay, so when you go to apply for a job, you have to answer a question. Are you on drugs per se?
Right.
And if you say no, and then they wind up finding that you are on drugs, what you do, you get fired, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to the forms he's talking about. And I'm going to read to everyone here out of my pocket Constitution. Okay.
Please do.
I have the Second Amendment. Okay. So here we go. Can I have a little drum roll? Because I'm going to be a little bit of dramatic here. Oh, we can't hear drum roll. Anyway, so a well-regulated militia. Now, folks, this is from the Pocket Constitution. This is not from Google. Okay. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, not these arms, but, the pew-pews, the guns, the big old freaking big guns, or any gun, for that matter. Shall not be infringed. That's all it says. That's it. It does not say anything about drug addiction, alcohol addiction. It does not say
Exactly.
anything, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All that comes from the states because the states are regulated by the federal government to have that. Now, what did I get out of this? Goes back to the red flag laws. That's what they want to do. That's what the federal government wants to come into play with. Well, if anybody does any kind of drugs, whether you're in a state that's legalized drugs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you can't bear arms. Okay, you cannot bear them. So I'm going. It'll go back to the Supreme Court. It's all
Okay.
bullshit. Okay, so that's what I do. So
Okay. Well, I come across it and it kind of made some sense. Some people agreed with it. Some people I said, well, I would have to check it out a little bit, see, you know, different
Linda
differences
gave me
in
the
it.
front row. Damn it! Thanks, Pete.
Linda.
Thank you.
Linda. Why ain't
Thank
you with Ricky Bobby tonight? Well,
She is.
hello.
She's driving like she stole it. Just
Drive it,
saying.
girl, drive it. Here's the video where we're talking about Giuliani, but we have someone else that's speaking about it.
It's no wonder Joe Biden and his thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that we are the only ones who can stop them, and they know it. And it was just announced that they withdrew their lawsuit, the laptop from hell lawsuit, right? The fake. Remember where they said it was Russian disinformation? It wasn't. They withdrew their lawsuit against the greatest mayor in the history of New York City, Rudy Giuliani, which accused him of everything under the sun regarding the laptop from hell. They withdrew it on the basis that everything that he said was true. For years, he's been fighting for himself. Everything Rudy Giuliani said was true. It was not from Russia. It had nothing to do with Russia. It only had to do with Hunter. Think of that. They try and destroy people. But think of that. It wasn't Russian disinformation. It was a made-up story for election interference.
Okay. I'm glad you pulled that up because I did miss that one of President Trump.
Good one.
Big Daddy
Good one.
P. Don,
Imagine
the man,
the
Teflon.
Popo. Imagine this. We've had Trump,
Mhm.
spoke about the laptop, spoke about Burisma, spoke about all the money, all the bullshit.
Yep.
Then you had Giuliani himself doing it. Imagine the hell that these people have went through. I mean, we're American, and we're struggling and going through what we're going through, but the people who actually put the truth fucking out there and the hell they've went through, the persecution they've went through. Democrats, what do you got to say now? I'm sure you'll have some bullshit storyline behind it that makes no fucking sense that will carry on another lie.
Okay, well,
Another lie. See, we may have conspiracy theories that come true, but you guys only put out fucking lies.
yeah, it's the propaganda, of course. But I mean, I don't know why you yelling so damn bad. I mean, shit. That's
Because
what we
they
say.
piss me off.
We say that on the show. Joe Fed Up brought that up. I don't know why y'all are yelling, and it just throws you off train of thought. So good, hey Joey, good job. But okay, so if people don't realize, there's two people that actually
Right.
went to Burisma and other places to get this information. This the main one is Rudy Giuliani. And Paige, if you can remember her name, or maybe country, you remember her name. I can see her face. Chanel something from OAN.
Right.
She went with Rudy, and they got all this information. Listen, folks, when I say information, I'm talking about they got hard drives. Yeah, it's just not paper; it's hard drives.
I know you're talking about one of them got arrested not too long ago because they turned over these hard drives and these thumb drives
Yeah,
that they could prove stuff.
yeah, that's not the one I'm talking about. But I know who you're talking about. But the thing about it is, go back to when Trump and Putin met for the first time. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then they came out for the conference amongst the TV
Right.
personalities, whatever. Putin hands him a soccer
It's
ball. He hands him a soccer ball.
I talk loud whenever I get a little, I get a little
Hey,
right, and I think we all need to get a little right sometimes because
Get loud. Get loud.
exactly, oops, just dropped.
But anyway, Putin gave him a soccer ball, so it had some information in there. So he
Okay.
still got the ball. Faith is exactly right. He still got the ball.
He got that ball. He got that ball. He does.
He says, but I mean, yeah. So Burisma, if you go back in time when Rudy Giuliani said to Fox News, "Oh, I ain't even got into Burisma yet." Okay,
Mhm.
that's the shell companies that they're talking about the Bidens have.
Well, let's get into Burisma a little
You
bit.
got some of this?
I got something.
Okay, well,
Something.
okay, I'm digging it. Go ahead.
Something. It's two parts.
Mike, just enlighten me here about what's going on, because is it the Justice Department went to the CIA and said you got to back off this investigation, and now there seems to be a whistleblower in Langley that's come forward to the Jordan Committee. This thing's kind of confusing. Can you break it down for me?
Yeah, so the Jim Jordan Judiciary Committee just put out basically testimony yesterday. That a whistleblower had come to them from the CIA and said that the CIA had waived the Justice Department off an interrogation that it had wanted to do about one of the sweetheart funders of Hunter Biden. And why would the CIA be telling the DOJ to back off in an interview of the person funding Hunter Biden? Well, to my mind, and this is opinion, I should note, there's no great mystery here. I have been screaming for the better part of 2 years now that the reason that Hunter Biden is untouchable is because his work in Ukraine touched on a very sensitive CIA operation. That's what, as I read the tea leaves, it seems highly likely. And I suspect that if you were to have an investigation into this by, say, the House Intelligence Committee, or there could be declassified documents about CIA analyst memos and CIA operations around Burisma, I think you would essentially have the scales around Hunter Biden completely fall off. And the reason for this is because we have had a long-range plan to bankrupt Gazprom, the state-owned Russian gas giant, which makes up a huge proportion of Russia's revenues. It's a big part of how Russia funds its war machine. Russia's war machine has been what's opposed the Pentagon failed to basically capture Syria and take out the Bashar al-Assad regime was because Russia militarily backstopped Syria with these S-400 missile defense systems. Russia also runs small arms to rebel groups all around the world, in opposition to Pentagon interests. You also have this basically $1 trillion windfall that NATO energy companies would earn if you could kill Gazprom and replace the energy exports to Europe with NATO stakeholders. You had Chevron signing a $10 billion deal with Naftogaz in Ukraine, which is the feeder from Burisma in 2013. You had also in 2013, right before the coup, a $10 billion deal signed by Shell. You have Exxon with billions of dollars in interest there. You have Halliburton, Dick Cheney's, the company that he was the CEO and chairman of the board, who's got the processing rights for the shale fields in the Donbass, as well as for the offshore drilling in the Black Sea. So you have basically a Where's Waldo who's who of all of the major players in the Chamber of Commerce, State Department, CIA blob, who are all have vested interests in removing Russia from the European energy market. And Burisma, I believe, was a part of that long-range plan. Right? So Hunter Biden himself was on the chairman advisory board of the NDI, the National Democratic Institute. That is the DNC wing of the National Endowment for Democracy, who even the Washington Post reported on in the 1990s as being our premier CIA cutout. You don't get to be on the chairman's advisory board of NDI unless you are linked to or vetted by the Central Intelligence.
Now that goes on for a whole nother 10 minutes. You have to go to Steve Bannon's
War Room
podcast with the War Room. and it is some good stuff. Some good stuff. It
Well, I mean,
explains a whole lot.
What are these people doing? I ain't leave Trump out of the conversation, okay? What are these people doing? They're verifying exactly what how it went down. Rudy got the information from the places that he went to, Burisma, Ukraine, whatever the case may be.
Right.
Rudy turns around and puts it up in Washington Times, and then sends it over to the New York Post. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So once the New York Post comes out about it, they get banned from Twitter. And anybody else that said anything about the laptop on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, they all got banned. Well, hey, here we are, vindicated. Which, I mean, shit, yeah, vindicated. Yeah. So
I remember the first time I come across it's the Burisma, I don't know what it's called, but they have to publish, they have to publish all this information. And it was, of course, buried way back. And this is when I first started learning researching into the stuff. And I remember that coming up, and I remember diving into it, and it broke down everything, how he flew on Air Force Two so many times. The corruption and the money and the trafficking of drugs and human trafficking that they did while using Air Force One, because I don't know if they did it on Air Force One, trafficked them. I know they did business that had to do with trafficking, drugs and human trafficking. They had to fly back and forth to make their deals with Burisma. And come on, we're talking about Hunter Biden. They're going to put at the helm of this multi-billion-dollar gas company. What the hell does he know about gas?
nothing. Well, other than he's smoking, the cracky crack, which
Doing
has
his
some of
thing.
that gas fumes and stuff like that in it. And other than that, no, nope.
I
Nothing.
mean, come on. That right
Hey,
there would have been a red flag. Phew.
yeah. Hey,
I mean, why
Jolie.
wasn't
So,
that? Why? I
okay.
mean, we need to find out why wasn't that published. Well, I guess it's they hid the laptop. They didn't publish that as well until after the election too. I don't know if they have to publish it before or whenever it has to happen. I guess I should
Well,
look.
the laptop came out in I think it was December of 2019. That's when Hunter.
Okay.
So once the
Okay. That makes sense.
laptop place guy owner went on Fox News and broke it, then that's when they started saying Russian disinformation.
Right.
So here we are today, folks. The laptop's real. If you're not following me over on the Clock app, it's Gen X Unfiltered right there. Gen X Unfiltered. Be more than glad to hook you up to my Telegram channel. I don't have but 3 followers. That's myself, Gen X Unfiltered, Peach, and Fed Up. I don't let a lot of people in, but we got stuff over there that I don't just put out there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to follow it. I didn't know you had a Telegram channel.
It's called Pawpaw G. Pawpaw. It's called Paw. PAW.
Well, yes, I did. Duh.
Yeah, PAW_PAW_G.
PAW_G. There we
it's
go.
very-
There we go. Well, Elon Musk, Brazil, they've had some bad weather, rain, flooding, and a bunch of stuff. Well, Elon Musk
Really?
was on Joe Rogan, and he talked about some evil.
This is so scary. Did you see the Brazil Carnival?
Is it the demonic one?
Yeah, so the Brazil Carnival, they held one, right? And it was just purposely to make fun of God because they had a big demon statue. They also had God crawling on the pavement. And then there was people dressed as the demon and they were poking at him, right? And they even had one guy who's dressed up as God hanging from one of the carnival what do you call those? The blimps?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was so bad that I think he lost sense of all his body parts and shit like that. That's how bad it got. Then right after, God sent a flood. I think I think a bunch of people were displaced in Brazil. A bunch of people were homeless in Brazil. Like, this is Brazil's like world record of rain that they got.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And even the big Rio de Janeiro statue, it got struck. There's pictures.
Now, hang on. Can I elaborate on this?
You
I
can.
sure can. Yeah, sure I can. Okay, so Elon Musk wears some of the weirdest stuff that I've seen. Some people say it's demonic. Okay. But what just came out of that man's mouth? You mocking God, people. You mocking God. When you mock him,
Happened.
oh, the wrath.
Mm.
God's hell shall come down on your country. Yeah.
If you guys go find that video, if you go further back, towards the end of it, when the lightning hit the statue,
Yeah, you will.
it looked like a sword.
Uh-huh.
I did. They have pictures of it. It looked like a sword. So don't mock God. Definitely don't. Fear. No. Not at all. Never. Never, ever, ever. Well, here's Matt Gaetz having a discussion with not Mayorkas, this is Garland. Yeah.
Oh, Garface.
To allege that the Department of Justice is communicating with these state and local prosecutions against Trump. You can clear it all up for us right now. Will the Department of Justice provide to the committee all documents, all correspondence between the department and Alvin Bragg's office and Fonnie Willis's office and Letitia James's office?
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get that. I get that.
State.
The question is whether or not you will provide all of your documents and correspondence. That's the question. I don't need a history lesson.
Well, I'm going to say again, we do not control those offices. They make their own decisions.
The question is whether you communicate with them, not whether you control them. Do you communicate with them, and will you provide those communications?
You make a request, we'll refer it to our Office of Legislative Affairs.
But see, here's the thing. You come in here and you lodge this attack that it's a conspiracy theory, that there is coordinated lawfare against Trump. And then when we say, fine, just give us the documents, give us the correspondence, and then if it's a conspiracy theory, that will be evident. But when you say, well, we'll take your request, and then we'll sort of work it through the DOJ's accommodation process, then you're actually advancing the very dangerous conspiracy theory that you're concerned about. Now, you were a judge, once nominated the highest court in our country. When you were a judge, I'm just curious, did you ever make political donations to partisan candidates?
No.
No, and you didn't, because that would create the potential appearance of impropriety.
I didn't, because there's a federal rule barring federal judges from making contributions.
Right, but under that same theory of attacks on the judicial process, like, shouldn't someone be owed like a jury of their peers and a judge that's non-biased, rather than getting a judge from your political opponent's donor file?
Well, I'm well aware that you're not asking a hypothetical. You're asking me to comment on a jury verdict in another jurisdiction which has to be respected. I won't comment on it. That case is still ongoing. The defendant,
Mr. Attorney General, I hadn't asked you about the verdict yet. We were getting there. I was talking about the judge. And so let me ask you this question about your time as a judge. Was there ever a time when you were a judge when you had a family member?
That man, that man right there, gosh almighty. Oh, Garface. Oh, well, how many times did he perjure himself on that one?
Oh my God. So many things. He's above the law. He's untouchable. He's just, this disgusts me. It's disgusting.
Oh my God.
It is. I mean,
Matt gets to it. You know what I'm saying? He keeps right on rolling it, and Garfield, I didn't, you know. So it is what it is.
Well, parents in a small town were quite angry about something, and
Parents angry at town hall over intolerance at Marshall Simons Middle School. Kids were asked to wear rainbow clothes in honor of Pride Spirit Day, but some organized a counter-protest wearing red, white, and blue or black. The principal sharing a statement to families that Pride posters were ripped down, stickers ripped up. Some students chanted "USA are my pronouns," and students showing Pride were intimidated. While some parents were upset, others say it was overblown.
Some of the kids threw the stickers on the ground, but I can only speak for my daughter. She didn't want to wear that to school. It's not that she wanted to hurt anybody's feelings.
She says her daughter felt coerced to participate in the Pride event and was offended by some of the messages, like this quote from Tennessee Williams.
Human heart cannot be straight. It is curves and winds. And my daughter just kind of said, Mom, that's offensive to me, who I am straight.
Parents angry.
Well, there you go.
Kids, Papa, I didn't mean to cut you off earlier. When
No,
you
good. You good.
I'd already hit it while you were speaking. But yeah, and trying to indoctrinate children. That's what it's about. They get to the impressionable minds of children because they are cowards.
Right.
They are cowards. You have no right to push any of this shit on children. None. You're an adult. Push it on your adults. Why do you go to children?
The thing of parents don't. I ain't gonna say all parents. Not all parents. A lot of parents don't want to be parents anymore. They don't. They don't want to be parents. Period.
Agree.
They just want to have friends. That's all they want to have. And
Yeah.
hey, when you have a child, you take care of your child. You don't take them out to these drag shows. I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, you keep that shit in your own damn bedroom. You don't put your child. No, your childs are off limits to all this kind of stuff. You know.
Agree. I mean, there was a day when this would be a cause for the child to be removed.
Yeah.
It would be, abuse. A whole slew of other charges.
Yep.
But now they want to make it just because all you got to do is say it's my pride month because everybody's too afraid of being sued.
Yep. All right. So let me try something real quick if you don't mind. I know you fist get off here, but hey, folks.
Yeah, I got a few more video.
Okay. If you don't follow me on Telegram, scan this picture. There you go. Scan that right there. It is up there, right?
It is. I see it. BBG.
Okay.
There you go.
Scan that picture. Just scan it with your phone. Go to your pictures, and hit scan. So you got to. I put the link in there off of Google. Yeah, you can go right there too. There you go. But yeah, I put a lot of stuff in there that we don't talk about here on. Well, I don't never know what Gail's going to be talking about here on the podcast. Ruby, do I?
No.
Okay.
You have no idea what I'm saying or what I'm doing, but it falls into place.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff I put over there that we don't talk about on our podcast right here, Gen X Unfiltered. So,
because sometimes you come across stuff after the podcast has already been done, and you pop it on there. You may get right off, and you'll see some. Oh crap! And a lot of times I'll put stuff. I've got like 400 people over there on that one. Also, you need to attach a chat, Pawpaw, with that, a separate page, but attach it to it because they will not be able to. A lot of times they don't be able to chat with it. I've got one attached to mine because they couldn't chat.
Yeah, I'll set it up. I don't know. Until y'all get over, I won't know if it's available to do that or not. So get your happy asses on over to Pawpaw G01.
Get over there. Get over there, Pawpaw.
But yeah, I mean, I put the reason I have that Telegram channel is to where, how things go missing. Oh yeah.
You always got a backup. Do a backup. Do a backup.
Right. That's right. And I do a lot of screen recordings that I put over as well. Yeah, because we don't want them videos to go missing. Yeah, we don't. So anyway, and there's an interesting one over there. It's called Marco Polo. Marco Polo. Thanks to Miss Peach, Miss Linda. I'm little Bobby. I'm not little Johnny. I'm little Bobby. That's why I tell Miss Peach every time I talk to her. And yeah, Marco Polo's over there as well. Go check it out. Thanks to Miss Peach.
Yeah, they sold out of those copies. The website that actually produces them recently, they sold out of the hard copies. They sure did. They had to make more.
Okay.
Well, here is.
Never mind. Go
Do
ahead. I was going to respond to Christy.
Go ahead.
She's on her phone. What is? Okay, I put it in the chat room. Click on that link in the chat room. There you go.
That worked.
Right.
These kids were kicked out of this school. Kicked out. I'm waiting for Trump to do his thing with it.
At St. Bonaventure allowed to give a school election speech at St. Bonaventure Catholic School in California, all because it was too patriotic. You may remember the story that we shared with you, and he promised to make school great again. Kind of a Trump-themed kid. Now the school has, guess what? Kicked him out of the school along with his two sisters. They kicked him right out. The school sending Jimmy's mother, he's got a nice mother, sent a letter reading in part, after careful consideration and thorough review of recent events and with the support of the diocese, the decision has been made to terminate your family's enrollment from St. Bonaventure. The school for next year, kicked out for the whole next year. Now, you're a nice Catholic school family. And,
I am.
5 kids, and this is California, which is not really the United States anymore. Allowed to get.
I foresee in the future Trump inviting them on stage and possibly maybe Trump making sure they get into a really good school that won't do shit like this to them.
Okay.
That is so wrong.
I mean, yeah, it's very wrong, but there's two things here. One of them you already hit. I'm going to elaborate on that one. The other one is, it's a good thing that he was kicked out of school because it tells you that the school system really don't want your kids. They just want the money. Okay.
Right.
So the second thing is, like you said, he's going to pull them up on stage. Got me?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to say, see, folks, we got to have school choice. You know?
Absolutely.
He said, and that's what he's going to say. So we had that back when I was elected the first time.
Sure did. Sure did. I actually even sent that video over to him and tagged him in it. Hey, if there's videos, I don't know if he has. I'm sure he has teams that view the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But, just to let him know. But here was, this is when Biden went to Florida and he was talking about abortion. Yeah. But why did he make this sign? I may have to play it twice for you to catch it.
Had to go to 6 weeks. The state of Florida, where Ron DeSantis felt like he needed to run for president, and so 15 weeks wasn't good enough. We had to go to 6 weeks.
Okay, so
did you catch that?
Yeah, the first one he went across. Got me? Okay. And then he does this.
Okay. Why is he making a cross? It's about abortion.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
that makes
right.
no sense.
It makes no sense. But two, he's like, I'm Catholic. Blah 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 blah. We don't accept abortion, but we do accept abortion. Hey Jill, can I have a sandwich, please? Yeah. So, I mean, that guy right there. Man, do you happen to have any Grey Poupon? You remember those commercials?
Yes, I do. They're just so funny. So funny.
Anyway, so yeah, Joey don't know where he's at, folks.
He doesn't. I saw pictures today. It was cute. They had made I wasn't him, but they had a collage of like 6 different pictures of where he's passed out at a restaurant table. He's passed out at meetings. I mean, come on, man. Man, this pisses me off. It's such an embarrassment for America, which we're known for being strong.
Well,
right this moment, we're known for being wimpy.
Exactly.
Wimpy. But they still don't want to mess with us because the American people are here. We may have one person acting foolish up there. He don't speak for all the American people. Hell, I don't even know what percentage he speaks for anymore.
20 energy.
Made me jump out of my earphones. You see that one coming.
I gotta say it. I mean, shit. I mean, come on, damn.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Listen to me real close. I have F-35s and F-15s. They're going to listen.
And the Constitution is not absolute.
The Constitution is not absolute. Ain't that right, Jill?
I'm telling you, Jill Biden, she is the sleeper. The sleeper. She is probably pushing the buttons too. I am for reals. It's not just going to happen for nothing. Well, the last couple of videos, here we have. Oh, Grandma sent me a link. I didn't get to go to the actual link, but I did screenshot, and I'm going to bring it up, what we were talking about beforehand. Phil Holloway states on X, it looks like there was a juror misconduct in the Trump trial. We knew these jurors would not be able to avoid telling their friends and relatives that we're going to get Trump. It's time for a mistrial with prejudice and no retrial. But will Mershon do the right thing?
Huh.
See, there's going to be all kinds of shit probably start coming out, but I'll go back to the other videos. This was just 6 hours before Trump was to speak this evening. 6 hours before he was to speak. Now, Trump is a rock star. Have you ever seen anything like I'm fixing to show you ever for Biden? Ever. Even before, before. Have we ever seen this in any kind of Biden entrance or anything?
He's definitely a rock star.
He is a rock star. He is a rock star.
Come on,
God,
man.
please protect Trump. Please protect Trump.
Yeah.
We got some evil, evil people out there fighting against us.
Yep.
Well, everyone, that is the close of the show. I hope you had a great time. Everyone, go follow Gen X Unfiltered. Your podcast here, and on his Telegram channel, and on TikTok. It's the same name. Grandma Jen, Island Girl, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, you do, Island Girl. You make a cross. What'd you say? No, you make a cross like a protection of something bad. It's making fun of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I started. I'm glad you went there because I was going to do it myself. You're doing it to ask for repent. Got me?
Right.
So I mean, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? So, Christy, once y'all start following me over on Telegram, y'all send it out because, like I said, I put a lot of stuff on my Telegram that I don't put here or even on our podcast or TikTok. So, yeah, Rebecca, Rebel So 03, got you. Okay, all right. So,
well, everyone, thank you so much for being here and join us here tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Country Crazy out.
And hey, I gotta get over here to click it off. Here we go. Y'all have a great night. We'll be back again tomorrow night, unless you're too tired or something.
I'm tired now. I'm still here.
Okay, there you go. This is a warrior right here, folks. A warrior right there. So y'all stay classy now, and let's get ready to rock and roll.
I want you to want me.